Electric intensity due to line charge of infinite length. This is an application of Gauss's law. Let us consider a line charge. A line charge means electric charges placed in the shape of a straight line. It has got an infinite length. For the line charge, linear charge density, lambda. Lambda means total charge divided by the length. It's called the linear charge density. Charge per unit length. Means if it has a length of 100 meters, in 100 meters, if there are 100 coulomb charges, in 1 meter how many charges? 1 coulomb. So this value is called a linear charge density. So the straight line charge has a linear charge density of lambda. So I have one such linear charge arrangement of line charge has a linear charge density lambda. My aim is to find the electric field due to the arrangement of line charge at this point P. The point P is at a distance r from this linear charge. So we need to find the total electric density at this point due to the entire line charge. So we are going to apply Gauss's law. To apply Gauss's law, what we need? We need a closed Gaussian surface. Now I am going to consider a closed Gaussian surface. The Gaussian surface should be symmetrical to the charge arrangement. So for straight line, symmetrical shape is a cylinder. So I am going to consider a small cylinder. This is one of the flat face. This is a curved face and this is the other flat face. So there are two flat faces and this is the curved face. This is distance r. So cylinder has a radius r. Let h be the height of the cylinder. So these are the charges of the line charge, infinite length. Here also it has got charge, but length is infinite. We are going to apply Gauss's law for this closed Gaussian surface. Due to symmetry for the straight line charge, electric field is always perpendicular to the line charge. So we can draw the electric field lines. This is one electric field line. This is another electric field line. Here we can draw electric field line in this direction. This is the electric field line. These are the electric field lines. So I am going to consider a small area dA on the curved surface. We know that the area vector is perpendicular to this area. So this is the area vector. Also the electric field at this point also perpendicular to the straight line charge. So this is the electric field vector E. So both the vectors are in same direction. So at any point on the closed surface, the electric field vector is parallel to the area vector. So I am going to apply Gauss's law for the curved surface. For the curved surface, the total flux, we need to find total flux to the curved surface. For the small surface of area dA, the small flux d phi is equal to E dot dA. E dot dA. But E and D are in same direction, so we can write E into dA. Because E dot dA means E dA cos theta, but theta is equal to 0, it will be reduced to E into dA. Now I need to find total flux to the entire curved surface. Total flux to the entire curved surface equal to closed surface integral E into dA. This is the total flux coming out of the curved surface. Why we are not considering the flat faces? Because if you consider any small area on the flat face, this is a small area. This will be the area vector, vector dA. At this point, what is the direction electric field vector? This is the direction electric field vector. Both are perpendicular. When you find E dot dA, E into dA into cos 90, because perpendicular, cos 90 will be 0. So there is no flux coming through the flat face. Similarly here also, if you find a small area here, it is dA. dA vector is in this direction and electric field vector likewise. Angle between them is 90 degree. So no flux coming out through the flat faces, only through the curved surface. So we have closed surface integral E into dA, only through the curved surface. So total flux is equal to integral surface integral E into dA. So here no, because we are considering only curved surface, no need of this closed integral, only surface integral. So surface integral E into dA. Now we are going to evaluate this integral. At any point on the curved surface from the charge array, distance is the same. So electric field has same value, it is constant. So the electric field is constant. So now we can take it outside the integral. So flux is equal to E integral dA, the surface integral dA. Now we need to find the surface integral dA. Surface integral dA means integral of dA is equal to A. So we will write is equal to E into A. What is A? A means curved surface area of the cylinder. Now we need to consider the flat faces, only curved surface area. What is curved surface area of a cylinder? It is 2 pi r h. H is the height of the cylinder. Substituting, it is equal to E into 2 pi r h. So flux phi is equal to E into 2 pi r h. Now we are going to apply the Gauss's law. Gauss's law says that the total flux phi is equal to 1 by epsilon 0 times net charge enclosed by the closed surface. I need to find the net charge enclosed by the Gaussian cylinder. This is a Gaussian cylinder. So net charge enclosed by Gaussian cylinder I need to find. I have a linear charge density lambda. Lambda means charge per length. I need to find the quantity of charge within this length h. I don't need this charge. I need the charge only within the Gaussian surface. So height is h or length is h. Charge per length is lambda. So how many charges are enclosed in the cylinder? It will be equal to lambda into h, because lambda is charge per length. So in a length h, how many charges? Lambda into h. Lambda is charge per length. In 2 centimeters, 2 into lambda. 3 centimeters, 3 into lambda. In h centimeters, h into lambda, because lambda is charge per length. So I need a charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface, excluding these charges. Only these charges I am going to count. That will be equal to lambda into h. So by Gauss's law, it will be equal to lambda into h. 1 by epsilon 0 times lambda into h. What is phi? Here we have what phi is equal to. Substituting the value of phi, E into 2 pi r h is equal to 1 by epsilon 0 times lambda into h. I need electric intensity. That is my aim, to find electric intensity. So h cancels. The remaining terms are E is equal to lambda divided by 2 pi r epsilon 0. This is the value of electric field at any point at a distance r perpendicular to the line charge is equal to lambda by 2 pi r epsilon 0. Now in vector form also we can express vector E is equal to lambda by 2 pi r epsilon 0. I am just multiplying a vector, unit vector r cap. R cap is a unit vector in a direction of that of electric field. If this is the electric field direction, this is the direction of r cap. R cap and electric field in same direction. R cap is a unit vector in the direction of electric field. Now we can plot a graph connecting electric field and the distance r. We know that lambda is a constant, 2 pi epsilon 0 all are constants, only the variable is distance. When r increases, electric field decreases. So E proportional to 1 by r, we have the symbol, we have the equation E proportional to 1 by r. So we can plot a graph connecting electric field and the distance r. When you plot a graph, we will get a shape like this. E proportional to 1 by r means whenever we move far away from the line charge, the electric field decreases and vice versa. Okay, thank you.